Preparing for GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, compliance is crucial for businesses and organizations that handle personal data of European Union (EU) citizens. Here's a step-by-step plan to help you get started. Understand GDPR. Ensure that you and your team have a solid understanding of GDPR's key principles, requirements, and implications. This includes understanding the rights of data subjects and the obligations of data controllers and processors and business partners. Data audit. Identify all the personal data you collect, store, and process. Document the sources of data and where it is stored. Categorize data by type, sensitivity, and purpose of processing. Determine the legal basis for processing each type of data. Data mapping. Create a data flow map to visualize how data moves within your organization. Identify who has access to personal data and the reasons for access. Document third-party data processors and data transfers, if applicable. Data Protection Officer (DPO). Appoint a Data Protection Officer if required under GDPR. Ensure the DPO is knowledgeable about data protection laws and regulations. Consent and transparency. Review and update your consent mechanisms for data collection. Ensure that data subjects are informed about how their data is processed. Create or update privacy policies and terms and conditions. Data security. Implement robust data security measures, including encryption, access controls, and regular security assessments. Establish an incident response plan to address data breaches promptly and in compliance with GDPR's reporting requirements. Data subject rights. Develop procedures for responding to data subject requests, such as access, rectification, and erasure. Ensure processes are in place to respond within the mandated timeframe, usually 1 month. Data Protection Impact Assessment. DPI conduct DPIs for high-risk processing activities. Mitigate identified risks and document the DPIs. Data retention and deletion. Implement data retention policies and ensure that data is not kept longer than necessary. Develop procedures for data deletion when it is no longer needed. Data transfer. Review international data transfer mechanisms, such as standard contractual clauses, SCCs, or binding corporate rules, BCRs, for transferring data outside the EU. Vendor management. Review contracts with data processors to ensure they are GDPR compliant. Establish data processing agreements, DPAs, and business associate agreements, BAs, with third-party vendors. Training and awareness. Train your staff on GDPR compliance and data protection best practices. Raise awareness of data protection throughout your organization. Documentation. Maintain detailed records of data processing activities. Keep records of consent, DPIs, and data breaches. Regular audits and assessments. Conduct regular compliance assessments and audits to ensure ongoing adherence to GDPR requirements. Communication and reporting. Develop a process for reporting data breaches to the relevant supervisory authority and affected data subjects within the required timeframes. Testing and simulation. Simulate data breach and incident response scenarios to ensure your team knows how to respond effectively. Review and update. Continuously monitor changes in GDPR regulations and update your compliance efforts accordingly. Seek legal counsel. Consult with legal experts with expertise in GDPR to ensure full compliance. Remember that GDPR compliance is an ongoing process and it requires a commitment to data protection and privacy. Regularly review and update your compliance efforts to stay in line with regulatory changes and best practices. A well-thought-out plan is essential and wise, but executing it is an entirely different challenge. Anticipate needing at least a year, a substantial team, and a substantial budget to effectively and efficiently meet the demands of GDPR or any regulatory compliance obligation.